All right, and welcome to this week's Be About It podcast. I am excited for more than one reason. I have a lot to be excited about, actually. The main thing is Miss Tiffany is back in studio with us. Yes, she was too good to be on after she was so full she could not be a part of last week's episode. So I
did not even have a voice.
Yeah, she really didn't. I heard her the next day. She sounded like she tried to swallow a herd of cats or something. But me being the constant professional I am, decided the show must, in fact, go on and did it. So, but this week she's back, and we have got some great news coming out of the great state of Texas. Two big things. Now, the first thing, because I'm truly excited about this one. I mean, it is an actual news cast about escorts.
Escorts. Wow.
I am so pumped about this one because in the city of Godly, Texas, which the irony is not lost on me on that one, the school district had a professional decided who was part of the school planning done, and she was, is, I guess you can say, I don't know if it was or is, I mean, it was pretty active in escort, and she's been hired to teach and
for
plan.
sex ed.
Oh my God, that's the best part about it. That is the best part about it.
Wow.
I mean, come on, if you're really going to...
If anybody knows better than how to put a condom on a banana, it would be her.
I mean,
right?
to be honest, I mean, if we're going to have someone teaching our kids about safe sex and sexual practices at a young age, I mean, she is kind of a professional. I mean, you really can't argue the fact. I mean, she probably knows more about safe sex than anybody teaching it. Everybody else was like, I know what I read. But she's like, I know what I've done, bitch. Sit down.
Yeah. She has her degree in it.
I was like, yep. Well, I mean, they say those who can't do teach. Well, there you go. But yeah.
We just had a discussion a couple of months back about a teacher that was caught with her own channel, right?
Yeah, on OnlyFans.
On OnlyFans, and now here we go with another teacher that's teaching sex ed. How in the world? When we were kids, we had teachers that looked like Stone Cold Steve Austin with the mullet,
looking like Fabulous Moolah, looked like she was 80 when she was 20. I was like, but no, I mean, she got massive backlash. They've cut her. Apparently, she is married. I think I saw that, and they have cut her whole family out of all school activities.
Wow.
And so, I mean, it wasn't just her. I mean, her name is Ashley. So, not so much a high escort name. I was expecting something like Candy Rose or.
I just need to know how she got back into it, because she was already convicted back in 2013.
Yeah, and 2016. So this is two. But in the state of Texas, it is a misdemeanor. It is not a felony, which gets overlooked by a lot of background choices. Apparently, it got overlooked by a background selection in Godly. And, and she's not only just teaching it, I mean, she wasn't just teaching sex ed, she was designing the program for teaching sex ed.
Exactly. Wow.
So it was like, this wasn't just her in one school. This was something she was planning for all schools. And she also leads a local cheerleading group.
Oh, I wonder how that's going.
Well, I wonder what they're cheering about now. I mean, I would love to hear some of those cheers they do. You can do it. You can do it.
Not.
Yes, you can.
I do not. I swear to God, I will press charges.
I mean, but you got to actually think about this, though. I mean, as far as teaching safe sex, sex ed, things like that, she's probably more knowledgeable than 95% of the teachers out there that are teaching.
I just feel like a lot of these young teachers that are coming out now, they feel like it's okay for for little girls to act a certain way and little boys to act a certain way. And it is not. It is not. They don't understand that they're still children.
Oh yeah, and
The age that we had back then was like when we got in like middle grade, junior high. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's like right when you jump in, it's not even there. It's like at the end of elementary, and it's like, what the hell?
No, I mean and this was just her teaching things, but I'm more astonished that no background check they run on somebody that's teaching our kids caught this. This is the amazing part. I mean, even if it just showed up as a hiccup, star little like, hey, misdemeanors at the bottom, did they not even look at that, see what the misdemeanors were about?
No.
So, I mean,
it kind of just seems like the system, the teachers and everything, like they're just hiring whoever they want to because it's a high demand. Can we just please bring back older people that want to whip bad children?
No, because those people actually want to teach the children. I mean, and today's school districts, they teach for a test.
They're going to teach your kids and they going to whoop your kids, and that's what we need.
You know, I remember back whenever I was young, I mean, you were fearful of going to the principal's office, not because of the whooping, but because you might get a whooping then you would turn around and get home and you get a whooping from your mama.
But not only that, the women teachers that we had back then had mustaches and big booties with big guts. And wore big skirts because they couldn't wear pants or anything.
Yep.
And just look, there was nothing sexual about that.
Now, we all had that one teacher, though. That one teacher that every guy had a crush on because she was the young, new teacher, cute, and being put in there. Yes, it happens.
Just one. Now it's all the way around.
Yeah, every school had that one young teacher that was just getting into being a teacher.
Right.
But no, I mean, outside of that, you're right. I mean, I don't remember any of my teachers being attracted to any of my teachers at all.
At all.
So, I mean, but the fact that, I mean, she got past this and, oh, hold on here. I actually got a quote from somebody that is over like a nonprofit group and stuff. Okay. Check this out. She says, I don't see any community wanting that to be the standard for their school district. And her name is Mary Lowe with the nonprofit group Families Engaged Against Effective Education. The standard, I mean, has not been, the bar has been lowered quite a bit in not just Texas, but the whole United States of America as far as education. So if you're going to speak about standards, let's speak about educating our kids before you talk about that right there.
And they really don't educate our kids like they used to back then.
No, I mean, I looked through a few of the books today, and I'm seeing, like, okay, in Texas history, this was one thing that just kind of shocked me. I know we're getting off topic on this, but little Texas history books, there was like 3 pages that described the events of the Alamo.
Wow.
And I'm like, okay, that is Texas history, probably the single most important battle because it inspired victory. It inspired people, and it showed just resilience of people that were fighting for what would become the Republic of Texas. And it was narrowed down to 3 pages. I mean, the battle lasted, or the wait lasted 7 or 8 days. Come on now. You could at least elaborate a little bit further than 3 pages.
So basically what first of all, what they're not doing is making them read the Texas history, read what happened, go into deep description. They're not quizzing them to make sure that they read those events. They give them these packets and then grade them upon the packets. And that's it. Why are we giving these kids packets? Why are you not in class teaching these kids day by day? I want you to read pages 1 through 3, 1 through 5, whatever.
Like, come on, I remember being that age. The teacher would be like, "You got to read this chapter and this chapter tonight because we're having a quiz about it tomorrow."
Exactly. Not even that, but they would give you by the end of the week or something. You know, give me an essay. Give me a 1-page essay back and front of what you read on. Something like that, and you would pass your class. Now they want to give you a whole. It's crazy. They're not even teaching. They're not teaching.
Now, you know what I found really, because I dug a little bit into this, because yes, it's escorts. I was just like, oh my God, it's finally happened. I get to talk about this kind of stuff. But I found out escort sites are legal in the state of Texas. I did not
Wow.
know that. I mean,
Wow.
I was kind of shocked when I read that because I always thought like, hey, that's kind of a no-no. So why is it? But
But
apparently
they
it's
go
legal.
by the lingo as long as it's not called
Prost-
prostitution.
Well, if you got a camera there,
Because
technically it's
if you
called
say
pornography.
escort, it can be as a date, not prostitution for sex. It's as a date. So the disclaimer goes, don't speak about what's going on. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
that's basically what it is.
But, yeah, I mean, there's always going to be loopholes to every single law out there. I mean, but
Exactly.
the whole school district dropped the ball on this one now, and everybody's in an uproar. But you know what? I am going to play devil's advocate on this side.
I knew you were.
You know what? Because
Every boy's dream.
I am a firm believer in everybody deserves a second chance. And saying that this woman has not changed her ways, which she hasn't, she's still up on.
She does not need to be in the school
as of 4 months ago,
system.
she was still on the
She does not need to be
websites.
around our young men. No.
Well, you got to give people a chance. I mean, what if she changed her life?
Well,
Said she wasn't doing that.
somewhere else. Take your chance somewhere else. If you were given a second chance, hey, the school board, the school role, teaching children is not for you, ma'am. Go on.
Why wouldn't
go
it
do
be?
something else.
I mean, why wouldn't? I mean, think about it. I mean, why would if she had turned her life around, is doing the right things, wants to see
Well,
kids do
go
right?
set yourself up a page. Go set yourself up a page for 18-year-olds who haven't lost their virginity and they're just fucking geeks and they need a little
Put
bit
a
of
quarter in
help.
the swear jar, young lady.
I'm sorry. Well, they need a little bit of help to, just move along.
But I mean, you got to actually give people credit, though. I mean, I'm one of those people. I will
What
always try to find the best in everybody. That is me. I will always look. The glass is always half full, and yes, at half full, you always need another drink on its way. But at that
I
point,
would rather you put an old lady that is non-desirable in my kid's sex ed class rather than somebody you're going to go, then my kids come home and look up online and say, oh, she has a whole page. Let me go watch her page.
yeah, that is the one bad thing about this world. Any kid with a phone can find her. Be
Exactly.
Like, so, but I mean, that's going to be anywhere. I mean, you let this one thing follow you all over the place. Be like, yes, it happened. I'm moving on.
She knew bad
She's doing this.
choices when she got into it. She knew bad choices. She didn't care.
And she's trying to make the good ones, and everybody's ridiculing her for it.
Where's the good ones? Where?
They're teaching at private schools where they actually value education.
Education, not sexual education.
Well, you got to educate kids. Like kids are starting, their hormones are raging at an earlier age.
But not everybody agrees. I mean, I just, no. That would be like, CJ, that would be like me going in because I'm great at sex. I know sex and everything. That would be like me walking into your house and telling your daughter, hey, this is the best thing for you to do if ever you come across this. And, so how would you feel about that?
If you knew more than me, I'd be okay.
With your daughter?
You're definitely going to know more about it than me. I'm a dude. I'm a guy. I mean, what am I going to tell her that I know? I know what I know. And outside of that, I know what I've read and what I've been told. I'd much rather have someone that has experienced it. Because that is the most awkward, speaking from experience, that is the most awkward conversation any father can have with his daughter. Period. Plain, simple, cut, dry, done. Hang it on the refrigerator because that's an A+. There you go.
Well, I guess that's a conversation to be had. If anybody has any insight on that.
Yeah, I mean, you want people to teach people, or your kids or young ones that have experience. I'm not saying she did the right thing by any means. I'm saying she should have been open and upfront with them. If that be the case, they probably would have said, you know what? No, we're going to go a different way. That's fine. But if they would have still done it, they'd have been like, yes, we know her background. She's still proven. She still was the best selection based on the information testing, things like that. Then you know what? That would have been acceptable in my eyes, because if she was the best candidate.
Yeah. And I just feel like people are they're too open with airing out their dirty laundry nowadays. You know what I'm saying?
That's because you don't have to be open.
Like, wow, you just
TikTok,
walk around the streets and say,
Facebook.
"Hey, I charge to be a whore.
An
I
escort.
charge for my pictures."
Escort is high class. Yes, that's classy.
Escort is classy. Okay.
Yes, it is.
It's still the same thing.
It is lifting your pinky up when you take a drink. Classy.
I'm going to refrain from saying what I want to refrain, because I'm just going to refrain.
I have left her speechless.
Yeah, very speechless. And not even speechless, because if I said it, I would probably get booted off, or we would probably get blocked or something.
Oh no, this ain't Facebook. We can say what we want here. This is our podcast.
Oh, this is our podcast?
Yeah, we just keep it clean for the people.
Well, I guess while you're getting it done from behind, you lift a pinky.
Well, maybe we wouldn't have went there, but.
Well, dang.
I was like, because I thought you were going to say something about me, but there you go, trying to teach and educate people. But, I mean, but think about it. If someone is teaching and educating like in that form of fashion, and say she was open and upfront about it, and she was still the best candidate as far as education-wise, as far as anything else. Like, okay, for an example, girl, young woman, 18 years old, no money, puts herself through college being a stripper or OnlyFans or whatever that case may be.
Right.
Goes to college to get a degree in law or a doctorate or anything, even as a teacher.
Which most of the time that's what it is.
So why would you begrudge that person's past if they are still the best candidate they have worked their way?
But it's not her past. It's her.
Well, yeah, I know. She's still. It was only 4 months ago. It was still active, but maybe it went. Maybe she deactivated it after she got the job. She was proud to move on with the next step because she had just made it where she wanted to be. See, I know, man. That devil's advocate in me kind of brings out the honesty.
Yeah, now you got me thinking. It'd be good. It would be really good to get her on this show so we can.
You know, if she is listening or anybody knows her listening to this, tell her to hit me up on beaboutit at gmail.com, and I will be happy, or reach out to the show in any way. I'll be happy to hear your point of view.
We would love to hear her feedback on exactly what happened and, how she is going to go on about it.
But, I mean, you have to think about that, because a lot of young women out there put themselves through school doing a job that nobody wants to do. People don't wake up one day and be like, you know what? I'm shaking that ass. Shaking that ass. I see you, baby. Shaking that ass.
Shaking that thing. Okay.
So, I mean, but nobody wakes up and wants to do jobs like that. I mean, if she did that to put herself through something, to get an education, and she literally was trying to get out of that and become a better person overall, wanted to educate teachers. Maybe she wanted to educate students so they didn't have to make the same decision she made. So I'm thinking the opposite side. I got to look at it from both sides of the wall. I mean, I can't. One side may be painted green, the other one may be painted red. I was like, one side's going to be the truth.
One side might be real green, and the other side might just be fake grass.
So, but you know what? She's married. She has a family. So obviously, her husband would know. And if he didn't, he knows now.
If we can,
So, hey. I mean, think about it. She was trying to become a normal, everyday person. Found a job where she wanted to educate kids.
If we could get both of their say-sos, that would be great.
Wouldn't be the first time we've had a couple on this show, but I'm all for it. But yeah, that's just the kind of thing that I was thinking of, and it came to me, and I didn't want to judge her because of it. Because as a father, yes, I am always going to be leery of anybody. It doesn't matter what teacher is out there. I'm going to be leery of someone because that's my child, and that's any parent.
I think it's just a little bit different from For me, when I was in grade school and whatever, our women teacher looked like men. They didn't look desirable.
And they were tougher than most men.
And they were. I'm telling you, my PE teacher looked like a WWE, person. She was going to roundhouse your ass.
Yeah.
And the other one, she was a Catholic teacher, and she would come in and, hey, sister, but she was high strung, had muscles from her calves. She probably had muscles in her toes. I don't know, but listen, they were tough.
Yeah, them women chew up a thumbtack and make some staples. That's how tough they
Something.
are. But no, but I would love to get both sides, because there's going to be a lot of people angry and stuff about this, and they're not going to be thinking of anything outside of, there are people that they're like, my kid can't be taught by that. You know what? Look in America. Most people are being taught by someone who in some way, form, or fashion has that in their background. They just don't broadcast it. So.
You know what, CJ? You know what? I'm going to have to agree with you on that.
Oh my!
I'm going to have to agree.
Oh my God! It has happened.
Listen, and that is why people have discussions, because there has to be discussions just to agree to disagree, or agree to agree. Hey, there has to be a common line.
Yes, but you have to discuss it first. You can't look at someone and say, hey, this is my point of view. You have to do it my way. No, you have to listen to their point of view.
And I definitely get where you're coming from. You are completely right.
Yeah, I don't believe you can judge her from that. I believe it's a bad thing, and the bad thing is someone found it online versus her telling someone, but she was probably hoping that part of her...
If there wouldn't have been a discussion between me and you, I would have felt the same way how I was speaking at first.
Exactly.
But now speaking to you, hey, yeah, I get it. You're right.
So, I think personally they should look into the background, see, talk to her, and I understand why she didn't want it. That was her past. But let's look to the future. If that future is not burdened by that past, give this woman a chance, in my opinion.
Right. We've all done some bad things in our lives and have elevated from those things. So I get it.
There is a man out there, and this is... I've seen this documentary and it blows me away. He is a black man, and he befriends people that are in the KKK.
Oh, wow.
And after they get to know this man and know who he is, not just by the color, but his personality, how he is, what he believes, what he does, he has people that are still his friends today, including one Grand Dragon, that have sent them their hoods and their capes or whatever the hell they wear, and he has them as people that he has converted to being average, everyday, non-racist people that had a racist background that have changed. Right. So, I'll have to look it up, and I will get that for everybody, because I think that is a very powerful story.
To hear that, Yeah, I would love to hear that.
Because I think that is one of the truest forms, and I think I apply. And I'm going to get some information for everybody.
A lot of people fail to realize that a lot of whites and black people, they actually really do get along. They really do get along. I have seen it.
So, I'll look up that information. Maybe we'll do a little story about that. So, because I think that'd be a great story for it.
Great topic, yes.
Well, let's take a little bit of break, and then we'll come back with some sports talk, because there was some major news that broke this week, and I know you heard about it, and we're going to come back and talk about it. All right, and we are back. And like I promised, we have some big news coming out of Dallas. Yes, to be honest, I never thought I'd see this day, and I never thought I'd be saying these words, but Mark Cuban is selling the controlling majority ownership of the Dallas Mavericks. This man, he bought it for a little over $200 million. So, he invested a good amount, and he is only selling 60% of the ownership on this.
Wow.
So he's still going to have 40%. They still want him to be in charge of kind of oversee things.
Right.
And the most important thing is they are not moving the team. They are keeping them here in Dallas.
Good.
Now, the big thing is it is being sold to a family that they have ties to Vegas. And this is where it gets interesting, because and this is to her name. The person being sold to is Miriam Adelson. If I pronounce that wrong, I apologize. But she is one of the richest women in the world, and one of the richest people in the world.
What does that even mean, though? What does that even mean? Like that brand will be hers?
Yeah, like she will own the controlling interest of the Mavericks. Like if she wakes up tomorrow and decides, you know what, I want to move this, I want to build a new arena, or I want to move the to Fort Worth or Arlington or Grand Prairie, she can do it without question, as long as she gets approval from the league and stuff, because she will have the controlling interest, and Mark Cuban will not.
Okay.
He will not be able to say anything about it. He'll just have
and does she know anything about basketball?
She does not, but her son or son-in-law does own a team franchise overseas. I believe it's in Israel. And so they are familiar with basketball and owning a team. So it's not an NBA team, which is going to be a huge step up. But I don't see a negative in this, because one of the biggest things is, you know how everybody's been wanting casinos or gambling to come to Texas, right?
Right.
Well, she actually is part of the Sands casinos. She is one of the owners of the Sands Group. So she owns casinos. She manages the casino. Well, she owns them. I'm pretty sure she hires and pays people to manage them.
So is she trying to make it legal here?
They don't know that for a fact, but having someone with experience in the casino business running a casino in Texas, they would be able to lobby. Plus, Tiffany, you're going to love this family. You know why?
I don't know. I see a little bit of, I see a little story in this here. I see a little bit more investigating going on here, because
this is just the beginning. This is going to be something big.
Money has a paper trail, and money comes into politics, and sports goes into politics.
And that's exactly why I was going to say why you love this family. She supports and donates to the GOP.
I bet she does.
She was a major contributor to President Donald Trump.
Great Trump. Daddy T. Big Daddy T.
Yeah, I knew you would love that part. I was like, when I read that, Tiffany's going to love this family. She's going to be happy for this one.
I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. So,
but, I think this is going to be a good thing for Texas and overall, especially if they do actually convince people to open casinos. Because I think, maybe not in all parts of Texas, but I definitely think we are open for a few things that can be like sports gambling, things like that. Or maybe resort styles. Because there was a vote in the Texas legislative about casinos earlier this year or last year. So
I just, it's just about the stakes and taxes and that, and hopefully it doesn't raise the taxes on Texas.
No, that's why everybody wants to move to Texas, because we don't have a state tax.
I mean,
exactly. No, I think if they can do it, I think that having a casino owner of a sports franchise in the state of Texas could do nothing but better for that cause to get things. I mean, I would love to see some casinos. I don't like driving 4 hours to go to that, or 2 hours. But now there are going to be a lot of people pushing for anti that, because with casinos here in DFW, or even close to DFW, that's going to take away a lot of money from Oklahoma.
Right.
So there's going to be spectrum on both ends where people want this and people don't want it.
I think that's going to dig a lot more deeper than that, which I hope in our next segment we'll be able to get into this, because this is really a really good segment.
Yeah,
I hate to say I'm behind, because I wish I would have knew more about this.
Yes, you are behind in the sports category, but this was one that I chose. I chose this one.
All thanks to Thanksgiving. That's it. Okay.
Yes, as she ate too much, slept for 13 days, and finally woke up, and she was like, "Oh my God, I got to do a podcast."
Right. Lost my voice and everything. I fought through a couple of fights and everything, but now we good.
That's to be expected on Thanksgiving. Somebody takes that last turkey leg. I mean, you're going to chase them down, eat the turkey leg, shove the bone up their ass.
Right.
That's what you do. Done.
That's what you do.
I mean, somebody takes that last biscuit, that's fighting. I mean, nobody wants to take that last biscuit because they know somebody's going to get angry and upset, and then you might get bit. I mean, it happens.
Right.
But
Shit happens.
but I think this is going to be a good thing. And there's been so much speculation this week. You don't know which way it's going to go. They're looking to have this deal completely done by the end of the year, so within the next 4 weeks. But there's already talks about, okay, is Mark Cuban doing this so he can run for president? Does he have aspirations to do this? But I mean, he's leaving the Shark Tank, things like that.
I heard about that. Definitely heard about that.
So a lot of people are speculating that Mark Cuban, who's in his early 60s, wants to make a run at the presidency. He has talked about it in the past.
Wow.
And I think, he would be another candidate that would be outlandish. He would be all over the place. I see him being similar to President Trump, but I see him being
there's
smarter.
No way. There's no way. Trump has had his way with America for a very, very long time. And, I mean, no.
Well, you can't be surprised by it, though, because think about it. Trump kind of did the same thing, became a billionaire, has
He's
casinos.
A businessman. Even before he was a billionaire, he was a businessman.
And so is Mark Cuban. Started a business, made a business, sold it for billions, then invested in other things. Dallas Mavericks being one of them. Sold it for almost $300 million, selling it for $3.3 billion. Just a controlling interest, not the whole thing.
Well, I guess Mark Cuban, let's hear what your insights would be if you were ever to run for president.
But you know what? That's all speculation now. Nobody knows 100% of what's going on behind the scenes.
I would definitely love to hear a debate between both of those men.
I would love to hear a debate between Cuban and Trump. I was like, let's unleash the dogs of war and let them go.
A hot debate that I love more.
Yeah, I mean, come on, people. Let's be honest. People were watching the debates when Trump was in them because it was entertaining for one. Two, nobody had ever seen anything like that, so we were all shocked.
He wasn't afraid to speak his mind.
So, but on that note, since you weren't here last week, Tiffany, how was your Thanksgiving? People are dying to know.
Oh, I mean, I don't know if they're dying to know, but my Thanksgiving was awesome. It was awesome. I will say there was a bit of drama, but I got to hang out. This was basically the first Thanksgiving that this generation of cousins got to be with each other. I had my cousin Brittany out there. She's never been out to San Angelo since the family had moved out there, so it was her first time being out there, and it was really. It was really wholesome. It was really loving. We had a great time, despite anything that had happened. Hey, I had a great time. A great time.
And what about the food? Was the food on point? Because you were bragging about this before you left.
The food was nostalgic. Okay, I will say this. I'm grateful for my fiance because. I said I was going to make the greens, and I did. Well, we did.
I feel a butt coming on.
We didn't have enough time, so I had to move the greens from one place to another. When we moved those greens from one place to the other, well, that place ended up having like a lot of the drama scene, and I just so happened to partake in. My man, he stepped in, and I forgot to put the water in the greens. So
not like it's a necessity or anything.
Yeah, it wasn't a necessity. So he came back, he put the water in the greens, and I mean, he saved my ass. Everything turned out great. The mac and cheese was great. My cousin that's in the military, he loved it. He loved it. But it was really, really good. We got to like the end of the night, and we ended up walking down to the bar, shot some pool, came back. We all had a good time, and it was what it was. We woke up the next morning. Everything was forgiven. Whatever happened that night was forgiven, and we had a good time. And everybody departed from there.
Okay, sounds good. I like it. I could dig it. What happens after Thanksgiving stays after Thanksgiving. Next day.
Yes, definitely, definitely. And Hispanics will be Hispanics, Latinos will be Latinos. It's always gonna be something.
Yeah, I mean that's with pretty much any family of, 15 or more. You're going to have something with that one person that's going to screw it up for everybody and cause a little bit of drama. But you know what? Hey, it is what it is.
DJ, don't say that. Listen, family, I hope I wasn't the one to disturb because I know my family listens to this podcast. I know y'all know I'm the one to stir, but please don't say I was the one to stir the pot this time.
No, you couldn't stir the pot. You forgot to put the water in.
Right?
There was nothing to stir except for dried out greens.
You're right.
Well, I'm glad you had a good time. I was like, we missed you last week, but I was like, we're happy we're back here for this one. And you know what? I was like, I think I kind of did a good thing myself. I got a majority of my Christmas shopping done before Thanksgiving.
Well, you're like only a 3-person family.
No, I buy for other people too. I buy for in-laws, brothers, sisters. I mean, I get for everybody. I don't just go for just me.
Wow, those in-laws and everybody else, they're lucky because I do not shop for my in-laws.
No,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I love y'all, but y'all know how big my family is.
No, I like to get we all know how big your family. You see, I had to stop myself right then. I was like, man. This is like the Cosbys ain't got shit on y'all.
They don't have shit on us.
But yeah, no, I mean, that's one of the things I was saying that I like to buy gifts. I mean, I may only spend $20, $30 each person, but I want to get them a little something to show that I was thinking of them. And that's just me. That's what I like to do. Mm-hmm. I was like, it may be a gag gift. Like a couple years ago, some people I knew got false teeth, so I got them a whole bag full of those old wax candy teeth.
Uh-oh.
As a gag gift. But I was thinking of them. I was like, just in case you lose those, you got some spares. Have at them.
Ow.
So, but I mean, you got to have fun and things like that. Just show people. I was like, because we got the Christmas, my worst. I was like, yeah. For anybody that knows me, I'm not a Christmas person. I go along with it. I enjoy it.
He will not let me whip out the Christmas stuff at the store.
No.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Like, you could do it the next couple days while I'm not there. That way I don't have to be a part of that. But, no, I'm not a Christmas person like that. I mean, I'm around a lot of people that are, and I accept that fact. But I like holidays where there's no gifts involved into it because I want to get together for people just to get together with people, just to enjoy it.
Time. Right.
So that's just me, though. I mean, but I do partake in Christmas to make sure everybody's happy because I know everybody does love it. So, but, I mean, on that note, I think we've had a pretty insightful show. I definitely enjoyed our first topic. It was my favorite so far. Been doing this, we're coming up, over a half a year on the podcast, and
right.
That was by far one of my favorite ones just because I never thought I'd get to do it.
For that kind of topic?
No, I did not think I was going to be able to talk about escorts in the state of Texas.
Oh,
never thought.
No. In the state of Texas.
So I was excited about that. But
I bet you were. You were excited with the other one too.
Mm-hmm, because I think there's going to be good things. I think like I said, I'm a glass half full kind of guy, and at half full, I'm still ordering another drink because I want to know what's next.
And listen, guys, I don't want y'all to think CJ is a pervert because he's not. His wife is an angel. Okay? CJ is an angel. But
yeah, nobody's ever going to believe you on that one.
Like he says, he is the devil's advocate.
Yeah.
Okay.
I will always look things from both sides and not judge because I accept people for who they are, not who I want them to be. So Don't be upset about what I say because I'm saying it to get you thinking out there to where you might not judge the next person without thinking both sides. But on that note, I think it's about time for us to wrap it up, to call it a day, and of course, to end it on always a high note. And we look forward to seeing y'all next week, but we'll keep talking about it. Y'all be about it.